Good morning. Everything looks like it's picking up. There we go. Hi, hi, hi. I'm here. I did it. It's a well acknowledged miracle. Um, I just. I hadn't actually seen what I looked like this morning running across the street. Uh, Christchurch traffic strikes again, friends. Yes, two roads that were through roads yesterday were dead end streets today. That was a interesting experience, but we got here, and I thought I would just pop on quickly as a. Oh God, there's another one. Oh, and there's those. Oh my, sorry. There's a lot of things that are arriving that I thought aren't here yet, but are here. Uh, we've gone from no boxes turning up to all the boxes turning up, which is a lovely problem to have. Uh, Hi Adele, hi Janet, hi Kathy, hi Kate, hi Fiona. Good morning. Let's get going. So anyway, this is a little PSA to dress for yourself and dress to be comfortable. So it is windy and brisk, but for most people, probably not very cold in Christchurch, but for me, quite unpleasant. It makes my ears very cold, and I love hats. I have a lot of them, but when I have to be here all day, I don't love a hat. It ruins my hair. Um, so I wear these earmuffs that my mom, who just came in, got me. They are from UGG. I've had them for a while, and I'm telling you about them because this is a little PSA reminder to dress for your own comfort and for yourself. Even if you think you might look silly, it's worth it. And these earmuffs, if you can find them, don't ruin your hair. And if Dale is watching, I just thought I would put this out there for you, Dale, that I do wear mine, and I wore them in this morning. So, there we go. Let me get my crossbody off. Ooh. Phase one. Now the jacket. Oh. Oh. Oh, goodness. I'm so sorry. I'm very, I have a lot of muscular fatigue at the moment. It's just a thing. Okay. Jacket off, jumper on. Just checking that I put it on the right way around. You never know. Sometimes you're having a morning, right? Good morning, Joanna. Uh, and thank you to everybody who's here joining in today. Morning, more egg, and let's get going. I'm not that late, which is a special miracle, I think, for all of us. So, what am I wearing? I'm wearing a jumper that I drafted, inspired, if I'm being honest, by somebody knitting the September sweater, which is I think it's the September sweater by Petite Knits. Someone I saw was knitting it, and I really liked the look of it. I just didn't want to knit it top down, so without purchasing the pattern, I just drafted a shape in my size from the bottom up. I will eventually probably release this. I just it's meant to be quite oversized the way that I've drafted it, and it is. I'm just not certain how, how it'll play out as I expand the sizes. It takes, like, to be very honest, it's proportioned largely for male bodies, and it takes, pardon me, for that reason, quite a bit of yarn. If you love the look of this, great. We can help. We can absolutely help. I'm looking behind me to check. We do have some 56 or 56S, it's hard to tell. And so this is Isager Tivini in 56 with 2 strands of Isager Silk Mohair in 56. And I grabbed a very random selection of silk mohair. We have had our largest silk mohair delivery since we opened. And I do want to start off by telling you that it's all here because some colors are already disappearing. So if you are somebody out there looking to purchase silk mohair for a specific project and you've been waiting for a particular color, now is probably your best chance to get that color. We've got a beautiful array in. This is 56. Let's hold it up nice and close to the camera for you. It's really a gorgeous green. It's the one that I'm wearing. This is 0, not E0, so this is not the eco, so not the undyed 0. I'm assuming this has some sort of dye to it. I will say, yes, this jumper is very cozy while being very lightweight, and I was able to knit the brioche portion on a 5mm needle, it really flew along. Knitting with the yarn held triple was not hard. And if the idea of knitting with the yarn held triple scares you, great news. We now have an alternative that I've been working with that's really beautiful. We got a shade that we haven't had before, I believe, which is 3S. So it's a heathered version of the number 3 gray. Oh, perfect. Yes, there we go. Tiffany 56S, which I would still recommend. It'll be beautiful. Oh, goodness. There's a lot of colors. These are 57 and 63. So 57 is the lighter shade and 63 is the darker shade. Sorry, it's a little hard to know how to position them without facing them up to me a little bit first. There we go. So there's just like the whole array of colors is really quite intriguing and subtle and beautiful. And with the seasonal change upon us, it can be really, really great to start getting these sorts of things into the brain and into the mind. We've had some colors come back into stock, the ever popular 28 and I believe 32. Yeah, these are definitely two that tend to sell quite quickly. They're the ones that are at the bottom now, the orange red and the more blue, deeper red. And last and certainly not least, a restock of the 100, which disappears before our very eyes every time. This is the dark navy, the 100. And last and certainly not least, despite its number, 6, which is also just a subtle, beautiful, soft, beigey neutral. The whole palette does really come together. You could use like the 100 and the 0 together to do like a marinière style stripe, which is, I think, about to be very on trend and very in for several years again. So definitely, we are seeing stripes coming back, guys. So do start thinking about that and incorporating that in. I just wanted to lead off that it's here, and I'm thrilled. And it came in and it's beautiful. So I'm obviously through all of my Knit Fast Dye Worm projects. So I'm working on some other things now. I finished an Earth and Sky shawl. I put some tassels on it. I probably should have worn it in today. I'm a little bit of a silly goose on that front. But I have been knitting some other stuff and some yarns that we're going to introduce to you. One yarn that we have in stock, so we'll start with that. Then we'll talk a little bit about some project bags, and then we'll come back to another project that I've been working on to offer you some expansion to some of the shapes that I already offer as a designer. So I'm not traditionally a huge fan of art yarns, if you will, or the more like interesting, I guess, possible yarns, the textured yarns, stuff like that. I'm quite particular. I tend to like a really woolly 100% yarn, worsted spun or woolen spun. I do tend to prefer woolen spun yarns in general. And some of our wonderful customer base have been really fascinated by this yarn, Isager Soft. So last year in our knitting group, I think it was around this time, I could be wrong, everybody found, I'm not sure who introduced it. I remember Emily knitting one very early. I remember Di knitting one very early, and Mary knitting one, and BB, the Harris Hood. Super popular. This yarn is Isager Soft, and this is one of the yarns that the Harris Hood is designed in. I believe it takes 3 skeins to make it the Harris Hood. Since then, another pattern, another hood, the Sophie Hood, has come out, and that's by Petite Knits, and it also recommends this yarn. So I decided with these hood patterns really seeming to fill a great gap in people's wardrobe, it's a great transitional piece that you can pull up and around and then drop down, and they wear like a scarf. Oh my. They wear like a scarf or a shawl. My mouth literally got, like my brain got so far ahead of my mouth that I made a new portmanteau. They wear like a scarf or a shawl when they're the Sophie Hood version because it's not connected at the ends, but the Harris Hood wears like a cowl when you take the hood portion down. And it's just a great additional layer if you want to stay a little bit warm. So that is the Isager Soft yarn. Now what's so surprising to me about how much I'm enjoying working with this, because I am enjoying working with it, is it is a 56% alpaca and 44% organic cotton yarn. And I don't know how well the camera picks up and is showing this, but it is a blown yarn. So it has a central cotton core, that is knit, and then the alpaca fiber is blown into it as the core is being made. And when that happens, the fibers get trapped horizontally and vertically, making a really varied in appearance looking yarn that knits up quite even and has a really attractive appearance. This is it in garter stitch. This is the colorway 100. Oh, I should cover my face so that it picks it up better. There we go. And it is a lovely, lovely product to work with. I've had no problem getting a center pull on 2 balls in a row. Sorry, I'm obviously very smug about it. And the Sophie hood will take 6 balls of this, so it says. Now, I'm just starting my second one, and I'm not quite through the increased portion before starting the hood shaping. The pattern is very easy to knit. I've been using a strategy of using 2 markers laddering up so that I can count from the repeat. And just as a reminder that you start counting at 1 from the right side, but you work the increase on the wrong side. So it means that you will have the number of purl bumps facing you that you should need times 2 to hit the next increase, if that makes sense. If you're working this and you've been wondering how to count it, the easiest way I have found is to place the marker in the faux purl bump from the knit front back, and then to count the purl bumps above until you get to the required number for your increase. Oh, this is the Sophie hood by Petite Knits. Like, this is, and I will say, it's a great basic knit. I think if you're somebody who is just looking for something, this is a day's worth of knitting that I've done on it. I'm almost through the increases. It happened because I forgot my knitting at the gym, of all places. And I cast it on because the yarn came in and I really, really love the look of it. The 100 is really beautiful. I would absolutely recommend it. I'm also wearing a pullover that I designed. This is something I saw on Ravelry, the Petite Knit September pullover. It already exists if you're looking for it and you like to knit top down. That pattern already exists. Please go grab it, and if you need help getting the yarn, we are in an excellent position to help you at the moment. It is a joy to wear the double-stranded or triple-stranded mohair, especially in the brioche stitch. It's really beautiful and light feeling. We also have just some other great options like this Isager Soft that I'm talking about at the moment that you could use in place of that. If you're not somebody who's going to hold something triple, you could use this in place of that in those patterns, and I think get a very similar result. The yarn is kind of wildly reasonably priced. So you get and this is one of the other colors, this is 10. You get 125 meters to 50 grams of a Aran to bulky-ish weight yarn. It's fluffy, it's light, it won't be very see-through, I don't think. You could absolutely use Isager Alpaca 3 instead of Soft. We are going to be getting more Isager Alpaca 3 colors in. We're just waiting on the box of Isager Alpaca 2, which is on its way. But you guys shouldn't wait because, just as a side note, I'm not kidding when I say these Silk Mohair colors, we had all of them. They're already disappearing, and there are some of them that we already can't reorder. But this is the Isager Soft. I really love it. It's very fluffy and light. It's very interesting. And the color plays out in it, I think, in a really beautiful fashion. So we have 30, 10, and E4S here. Let's make sure that we've got everybody. So the eco shades are undyed from what we understand, and the naming system is a little confusing, but they are the same. So there we go. Those 3 are the same. They knit to the same weight. They're really, really beautiful. I'm quite surprised at how much I like it. But yes, you could use Isager Alpaca 3 instead of the Soft. I really like the Soft. I think it's quite fun. It is kind of ridiculously fun. And we do also have everyone's favorite shade, E2S. Now, I will tell you, E2S is probably our best selling color across the entire Isager range. We have it in right now on Soft, Alpaca 2, Soft Fine, Alpaca 1, Baby, ooh, I'm probably missing a couple. I don't believe that we have it in on the Silk Mohair, but we do have it on the Soft Fine, as I said. So we have a lot of different options for this at the moment. Definitely something where you can mix and match the different yarns together to create different fabric effects. There are lots of patterns that use those yarns all together in some really fascinating ways. So do definitely take a look at it. The palette's really soft and natural and beautiful. It's great to work with. I'm surprised that it's not very splitty. Yeah, careful with your stitch markers though. That cotton core, you can spearfish it with a stitch marker really easily while you're trying to use it to count. That was definitely an outcome for me. I am knitting the biggest size, by the way, everybody, and I am knitting it exactly to pattern. So I have been, I don't know why I made that face. I'm knitting it exactly to pattern. This is so that you guys can see the outcome of this without having to necessarily do it yourself. So you get a little bit of a confidence boost, but I can say already, I'm really happy with the fabric in general. And I think that it's gonna wear really well and have a very fashion forward but timeless look to it. I will most likely, it's a lot of ums, I will most likely make pom-poms for the end of the scarf. It will help it to rest better, like the scarf portion before the hood. I will probably pom-pom these ends with the self-same yarn because I like when the ends of things have weight because it helps everything to hang better. It's just something I've discovered that I have really been leaning into, and it's been very helpful for me wearing shawls and other things more. Tassels, fringes, all of those things provide weight at the edges and help things to pull down so that gravity assists in everything staying in place. So that's just one of those little extra hot tips. If you're not a shawl tyer and you're a shawl draper, embrace the tassel, the fringe. We can talk about more edgings and more ways to apply those, I guess, over time. Maybe that'll be a fun little series of kind of how to use there is a place at which macrame and knitting and crocheting can collide. Yes, it's soft, the color is great. I'm looking forward to it being a whole hood. This is a little bit less than 30 rows, I would say, to the next set of instructions where you split for the back. So it does knit up quite well, knits up really fast, not a huge amount of time invested in it for a lot of good outcomes so far, in my opinion. Before I move on, let's just wrap up the yarn section. Isager Baby, or Eco Baby as we've been calling it, because it wasn't just, the colors didn't exist before, so it was Isager Eco Baby. Now there are colors, and we have ordered them in. I'm thrilled to be offering this yarn to you in colors. It is a really fantastic yarn for kids of all ages. If you're somebody who knits for people who have sensitive skin or are really opposed or just can't tolerate wool, great news, we've now got colors in an alpaca cotton blend. It has a chain-neck construction, which, if you're not familiar with, gives the yarn a lot of structural strength while not adding a huge amount of weight. And there we go. And it shows off the really subtle mottling of these colors and the way that they've been put together. The cotton and the alpaca are blended together to make one single, and then they are chain plied together. We do indeed have some alpaca 2 still in store. Not as robust of a selection as we will have probably around this time next week, but there is still a good selection that pairs up with the mohair quite well, especially the E2S with the EcoSoft Fine is probably a gold standard there. So depending on what you're looking to do, we might have what you need already here. This yarn is definitely more than suited for a lot of different projects. It knits up to a true DK weight on a 4mm needle. You get about 20 stitches. The chain neck construction helps to control that relaxation that occurred, and of course textured stitch patterns and other ways of reinforcing your knits through increasing that stitch density without changing the gauge will definitely help this for sure. Broken rib, all of those things are here to play. I have also recommended recently some patterns from the Isagers on another portion of where I post things that are done in this yarn. There are some really beautiful options. If you're looking to explore Isager yarns and you're struggling to find great patterns, my top tip is to go to the Isager website. You can translate it into English, and from there, after it's translated into English, you can browse by yarn and see all of the patterns that they offer. Most of their patterns are available as a single in English, downloadable from their website. Other patterns that are available in books, or if you would like to order other patterns from them, or need help getting specific yarns, please do get in touch. It is something we are thrilled to help with. The same goes for Filcolana. We are looking to start expanding our Filcolana range, and we'd love to hear from you what you may want to knit in it. Filcolana especially has a vast range of free patterns on their website that are designed to work specifically in their yarns. If there are things that you know you would love to knit that you've seen on that website that you can't find the yarns for, we'd be thrilled to hear about this, because sometimes once we're getting into really big ranges of yarn, it can be a little tricky to narrow down what you guys actually need to work with. And we've had a couple of things come in that weren't quite right for what people were looking for, so we'd love to hear from you. Special orders from all of these brands are very easy. We can give you very clear timelines now. We've got a much better idea of the flow of these things. So please just get in touch. We're really thrilled to help. And we do basically have access to their entire catalog. We do have shade cards for most of the Isager range in store, and the same goes for the Fiber Company and others like that. And so it's definitely worth checking out, and they make fantastic yarns that we really, really love. Now, project storage is one of those tricky things, and we are huge fans of redesigned. I looked at some redesigned things that were coming out this year, and I said initially, you know, I'm not really certain. It's just another color. I don't know that we need that. And I don't know if I'm a victim of my own marketing, but I'm sitting here now staring at some things that have come in, several things in bigger sizes, several things in different colors, and I'm gonna have to exercise some self-control. So you can help me exercise self-control by ordering them before I start taking things home. Because trust me, like I mean, I could justify another project bag like that. Don't worry about it, but I don't need to. This little guy is a personal fave. I believe he is the Project 4. I want to be right, because the bigger one is the Project 3. I think I got it right. Or it's the Project 2. Oh, God. Anyway, these little zipper pouches are back in stock. They come with a tape measure holder as well. I take it off because I don't use it for some reason. This is my sock knitting bag. I take it pretty much everywhere with me. It fits into my crossbody. It has a really great solid bottom construction, which means when you put it down on a table, it stays standing up on its own, which is really useful. You can fit 2 balls of sock yarn in, and I have the remainder of the other ball of sock yarn plus the other finished sock all crammed in here with needles and a spare set of needles and tape measure just in case, all tucked into this one little bag. I find it really great to carry around and super easy to use. You can start a sleeve or other projects with this really, really easily, and it's super portable and versatile. I will say there is nothing better than having a variety of project bags to suit your needs as you flip between projects if you're like me. And I highly recommend having a couple of different projects on the go at once, because it keeps you way more engaged. Recently, I've definitely discovered that garter stitch is something that I like to knit the same way other people like to knit stockinette in the round, which I definitely understand. Now that I've discovered that's why I knit garter stitch, and it turns out I knit a lot of garter stitch. So this is just ripping off the needles for me, and I would recommend something like this as one project, and this would definitely fit into this project 3. Look at that, what a smooth transition. Almost like I planned it, but I didn't. The project 3 is the bigger size. It still has that clutch format. You can take this as a standalone bag as well. It's got more than enough room inside for you to tuck your phone and a wallet onto this side quite comfortably and still have room for all of your knitting stuff. It's got one of those little great trappers for storing your tapestry needles. It comes with a tape measure holder, so you don't have to stuff that in the bag. So there's lots of room for your incidentals, and I have fit an entire shawl project plus an iPhone Pro 15 Max and AirPods plus my wallet into this bag with my Starflake shawl and all the yarn to knit it. So I really do actually vouch for these 2 bags. I took these as my only 2 project bags when I went traveling internationally this past year, and I was really thrilled that I had them with me. They turned out to be the exact right choice if you're on the move quite a bit and you're going to be taking things in and out of carry-on. I didn't really deal with my checked luggage very much, so I didn't pack any of the larger project bags. I intentionally packed 2 very portable small projects. I got them both done on the trip, which was great. And I can't speak highly enough of these for travel. I can fit, just as a side note, into my large crossbody that counts as a personal item. I can fit both of these bags, a book, both of these bags with the yarn in them, a book, my cell phone, my big travel wallet, and some snacks, all into that one crossbody bag. These guys do fit in very well because you can stack them upside down like this. So one upside down, one upside right, and their flat bottoms help you to really wedge them into the edges of the bag, and it keeps the yarn cakes inside from collapsing because the flat bottom is rigid on both of them. So 10 out of 10 redesign project. You knocked it out of the park with these ones, and they are hard to keep in stock, and they are both back in stock right now, so get after it. I coincidentally brought my tool pouch because I didn't want to leave it at home, because I now put a lot of my special incidentals into this little guy, which I believe is a Project 36. Oh, let's find out. This is also the prize for our knit-along, is one of these beauties, but you can get your hands on one sooner and really, really love it up because they're great to use. So mine's been in the use since, I believe, before December. I really, really love it. This is my wood smoke one. It gets a lot of use. It goes in and out of my bag. It hasn't collapsed on itself. It holds everything I need. It's great for crocheters and for knitters. They open out flat like the other shaped bags, so it's really easy to see your stuff inside of it and get to stuff. You can fit full size rulers and pens and pencils. Everything goes in there. I've got crochet hooks, scissors galore. There's additional little bits and bobs in that center pouch that's inside of it. I really, really love, there we go, there's a better boop. I really love these Project 36s. They're super versatile. And introducing to you one of the new colors from redesign. So this is not a new color. This is the burned tan, I believe. Ooh, yeah, burned tan. This is the wood smoke. And then their newest color, to us at least, is the taupe. And I must admit, I'm quite taken with it. And look at how beautiful they all look together. And frankly, the black also sits in very nicely. And you can start to see how you can build that mix and match collection of colors if you're somebody, or as well, honestly, collecting an entire range in a color and in several of the colors can be very satisfying. Trust me, I've got my wood smoke and my black lined up and another set on its way. But help me help you and order this Project 36 in taupe. And while you're at it, because you're gonna need to carry, so this will be great for taking your tools and accessories, right? But then you're gonna need to take your newest shawl project with you. And the great news is that we got a Project 9 in the taupe as well, which is another store favorite. And they open up flat, as we all know. They've got that beautiful center zip, all of that space for storage and needles. And it holds so much more than what you think, and it's such a beautiful little thing. And the taupe is just, ooh. But then, we all know that you're gonna inevitably cast on a sweater project, and you're gonna need a Project 10 to hold that sweater project. So you'll have your tools, your accessories, and then your shawl, and then your sweater. All in their separate but matching little bags, right? And isn't that just the best idea? Now, you might say to yourself, Ethan, do I need this? Yes, of course you do. But especially because I can vouch for having all of the objects in all of the sizes all in one color, because I can show you. I don't have my Project 9 in this color with me, but I do indeed have a Project 10 in wood smoke with me, and my Project 36. And I love them together, and they do open up flat, and they look so great, and you can just put them out on a table, and it doesn't look silly when you're out in public at all. And people always come up and talk to me about them now, which is actually kind of enjoyable. I do really love them. I must admit there is two other new things to show you. One that I should have picked up earlier and I forgot about, and another that, oh, there we go, is, I think, just dead ahead of me. Now, we have all of those objects that I've shown you in war colors and all of those things, so don't worry, go onto the website, browse through the redesigned quickly, please. It will start to disappear very fast now that we're announcing it's arrived. This is a Project 41. This is the longer, more robust version of that tool pouch. So if you're somebody who has Tunisian crochet hooks or some single pointed needles of a certain length, or you just know that you need a little bit more space or DPNs or other things to store and take with you, This Project 41 is great. I would say this is definitely another great object to have for sitting at home with. This would fit very well into one of the divided portions of a bucket and could be your home tool pouch and carry lots of stuff that you wouldn't have to worry about. Doubles, tools, and all of those sorts of things. Oh, okay, good, yeah, because you do need the needle case. Last and not least, before I show you my other maybe I won't even show you my other project. I might just have to go. Is the Project 63, which is a completely multifunction scissor pouch. So this is sized for embroidery scissors. It fits embroidery scissors of any brand. I'm going to grab a pair that I can see. And this finally solves the storage conundrum of all of these stork scissors that we all have. So instead of them flying around loose in your bag, they tuck into the pouch here. You just push them over and in, and done. Love. Super easy. Very easy to get them out. And once they're in, they actually stay in quite well, which I was surprised about. I thought we might have more of a slipsy whoopsie out situation, but we don't. And I'm not holding the point, so there we go. I love these little guys. They are the 63. If you have your stork scissors at home and they've been naked for all of these years, give them a little house. So I think that's everything to show you for this morning. We have some exciting new yarns and other things planned for you. You should be fine with wood needles while you're traveling. You should be fine on almost any major airline and any major transit point in the world with wood or metal needles, so long as they do not exceed a certain length. Most airlines have absolutely no rules against knitting needles. If you go and read what it says online, most of those things are at the discretion of the actual country that you're going to. Yes, there will be more of that. Oh, I guess that is what we should tell you. We are people who tend to admit when we have some slipsy whoopsies. So let me admit that we've had some slipsy whoopsies with needle supply. I can be very honest about this. There is only one wholesale supplier for all of KnitPro and one wholesale supplier for all of Chowgu for the entirety of New Zealand. We're not a huge market, and it is understandable. We sell quite a specific range, in a very broad range of KnitPro, more than I think what most other locations carry, we've been informed, and it makes it tricky to keep it in stock. So we've decided to go a little bit deeper on Chowgu to offset that and to offer you guys more options over time. So I believe that we are now carrying a fuller range of the cables, a fuller range of tips, more accessories, and more options. I'm just looking around to see, and we've got sets and all sorts of things back in stock. Please note, we do have all three versions of the shorty set in stock right now. They do tend to disappear quite quickly, so keep your eyes peeled if that's something you've been after. I hope all of you guys have a beautiful rest of your week. I'm gonna run, it's a very full show, and I'll show you the thing that I'm working on next week.